I've got no doggos to look at today. Who's here already? Hello. Hello. I can't see. I'm not even wearing any gear. Welcome. I'm just going to wait for some more folk to turn up. Hope you've had a good weekend so far. I know I have. Hello, Shares. How are you, mate? I'm good, mate. Hopefully you are. I have seen your message. Well, I've seen that you've sent a message, but I'm under strict instructions that I cannot be doing any work this weekend. Will it be my weekend off? So I have a lot of messages to get back to. But hopefully your weekend was good. Hopefully your little seaside trip was good. Hello, Luke. How are you? Just saying the same thing, mate. I've seen your message. I will get back to you soon. Promise, probably tomorrow. On a weekend off, test driving what a weekend off is like. Don't know how you people do it. I've been antsy all weekend. I would love to just look at it and not reply. Unfortunately, you know what I'm like, and I will just reply. So it'll be a tomorrow one, I promise. First thing. I've got so much to go back on. I've had people message to get booked in and what have you. So yeah, really trying to sit on my hands and not do it is being proven difficult. Ours is a good message, nothing to worry about. Always, mate. All your messages are fantastic messages now. 2 seconds, you can look at, I don't know, today, you can look at my laundry. How about that? No doggos today, unfortunately. The dog, oh shit, me. The doggos are in their crates. I'll tell you a funny story. So because I had the time off today, or this weekend, I did the worming of the dogs. You know how it is. Proper weekend off, mate. Well, it's been fun times, seeing family, getting out and about, house shopping. I bought some towels today. I am definitely 31, buying towels. So no, I decided that I'm going to worm the dogs. It's that time of year. Winter, no problem. Smashes it down like a little greedy sod. Jimpy, it's like I gave her poison. It took ages. And I came back, I don't know, sick and what have you, because she was a bit under the weather. She didn't like it. So, yeah, I've had to deal with poorly doggos and worming and everything else that came with it. So we're going to get started, guys. We've got a couple of people here today, which is good. If this is your first time, welcome. We do these every Sunday at 7 o'clock. I'm Chris. I'm the owner and trainer of All Aspects Canine. I'm decided to do a little bit of an intro now, seeing as I know 2 people are here, but I don't know who the other 2 are, so welcome. I generally pick a topic that has been going on throughout the week, and I want to explore that, and then we get into some fun shit where we just start, throwing abuse at each other and what have you. So if you want to know more about what we do, there's our link in the description. I've got some actually exciting news to talk to you guys about. You may have seen my story on Friday. So some exciting news we will talk about at the end of this. But yeah, welcome. Did you go anywhere fun? No, mate. The Range and Dunelm in Doncaster. That's it. So yeah, not as fun as yours, mate. I don't think. Not as fun as yours. I'd rather be in Whitby on the seaside and everything else. And you had good weather for it today. Hopefully, anyway, it was glorious over here. So what I want to do is I want to talk about some handler mistakes that I see all too often, and ones that I generally end up correcting a lot with handlers, more so than anything else. And what this is going to do is really going to sort of make your training a little bit easier, your handling a lot better, a lot less stressful, just by making these few changes. So, number one, and again, if you're guilty in any of these and you feel like you want to own up to it, please do. We've all been there, and me especially. I probably still do it now. Number one is straight away having a tight lead. Yeah. So when there's a tight lead on there, when we're trying to communicate to our dog, this is generally what causes a lot of issues when people come to me. So that's either the dog's out front or the dog's to the side of them, and they have got a tight lead. We're not communicating to them. The dog thinks that that is the way that we walk. You know, we just power on through. We're just an anchor, and the dog is having to work harder and harder and harder each time it goes out for a walk. In that moment, what happens is we can't communicate to the dog effectively because the dog has already got in its mind that that's what it needs to do. Guilty as charged. You were, mate. You're not anymore. What generally happens, and that's why a lot of people come to me because of lead pulling or even reactivity, because the dog has found some sort of security and frustration from there and felt big and strong and powerful because it's been restrained. So what then happens is when you flip the script on that and you then show the dog that a slack lead is what we're wanting, I would say 9 out of 10 dogs that sort of experience that slackly in that moment don't know what to do, and they generally stay around the owner and look into the owner a lot more and want that level of reassurance, or they get to the point where the dogs are going, oh, right, this is cool. This is different. What do we do? And at that moment, that's when we can start going into everything else in terms of teaching the heel, making them understand that that's where we need to be. So the variable reinforcement, all that type of good stuff, right? Evening, Aaron. How are you, mate? I hope you're good. I hope you've had a good weekend. I've just been talking about my boring weekend. But it was a weekend that was needed. Yeah, steady, mate. Thank you. All the better for seeing you guys here. All the better. So when we flip the script on that and we get a slack lead, that's what gives us a little bit more of that control, right? Something else that I see correcting. I was guilty today of a tight lead. Talk to me about it, Shez. Put it in the chat. Tell me about it, mate. I can circle back to it. How what was going on? Just because it was busy. It was the last day of the summer holiday, so it was loads of it was busy. Tight streets of Whitby. There you go. Yeah, exactly. Tight streets of Whitby. You're gonna struggle there, man. And sometimes it's easy to have that. In all seriousness, I wouldn't also have or be looking for a slack lead in that moment, right? Because it's difficult. You're weaving in and out of people. They're acting like fucking slaloms, right? So it's going to be very difficult in that moment. This is more in like the sense of if you're seeing like changes with your dog or you're seeing behavior that you don't want, then generally it starts like with that tight lead. Or if you're in my case where you get rushed by an off-lead dog and you grab the collar of the dog, i.e. my dog, and she goes, ooh, it's go time. Anyway. Number 2 is over cueing your dog. So what I mean by that is a lot of people talk to the dog a lot, don't they? They just start spouting all sorts of shit at the dog. Stop it, give up, come here, heel, sit, stay, sit, come here, stop it, no, bad dog. And generally it's like that. And then what happens is the dog goes, well, fuck you. You're sounding like white noise, you're boring, you're not saying anything of value to me. I'm just going to shut off. And then that probably generally goes to the point of going, you haven't got control of the situation. They're going to hit the end of the lead and pull into the lead. And you've got that tight lead again, right? So saying too much to your dog is sometimes holding you back. And from there, what you can do is you can do a little challenge to yourself is don't say anything to your dog other than what you need to say for 24 hours. And it's a lot harder than you think. I tried it once. It is a lot harder. My dog's like, whoa, what's going on? Dad's pissed off with us. And all I did was say the name and say a command. That was it. And it works. Don't get me wrong, it does work. And I generally say this to some people who sort of say too much to the dogs too soon, throughout the day, because it's not actually serving them any well. And what happens is it's just making them more stressed and frustrated because the dog's not listening to them. And they go, "Oh, the dog doesn't listen to me." They get a bit pissed off with that. I think I'm still guilty of that. What I mentioned the other day about walking Ted, something I want to work on, though, definitely handle her. Mate, it could be a little thing, right? It could be just, again, it goes on to this next one, like the timing of the marker, right? Or timing of the cue. So that could be a case of, so if we take, for instance, the lead pulling, right? If we take, for instance, that the dog is already started to pull ahead of us, right? Or starts to put that pressure into the lead because that's where they believe that they need to be. If we're not able to sort of give that correction as to what we want them to do, remember, a correction is correcting a behavior. It is alternating a behavior to a wanted behavior, from an unwanted to a wanted. But the dog has to understand what that wanted behavior is. We can't just crank on that lead, right, old school style, and expect the dog to understand it. No, that's just shutting a dog down. What I want to do is, okay, the dog is starting to pull forward. I'm going to do a little pop on the lead. I'm going to do the nag on the lead. I'm going to stand still and let the dog self-correct if we need to. Right? I'm not a fan of that one, but if we need to. And I want then the dog to go, okay, you've got my attention. What do you want me to do? And if we then say heel, or we're knocking the dog into position and then paying for that, that is an alternative wanted behavior. So when I'm talking about like the cues and we're being too late on them, or the timing can be off, right? What might happen is the dog may have already got to the point where the lead is already tight. Well, we've missed that opportunity of, say, a meter, maybe, a couple of paces, because the dog's got away from us. At that point, we've missed it to the point where we could have caught the dog earlier to stop that behavior from getting to that point where the dog thinks that you're going to only correct me or tell me what do you want to do at this point. Ever come to the point where you fed your dog in a behavior and they're going, cheers, easy, and fucks off and goes back to doing the behavior that it wants to do after that first payment, right? Give me a 1 or a yes or a no, or I don't know, fucking alien emoji in the chat or something. I think Ted knows what heel is. I say heel and he'll slow down and go back to position, then start walking again just to frustrate me. Yeah. So that's what I mean in terms of like paying the dog and then it fucking off, and the duration isn't held there, right? That's where you would need that little bit of an extra little bit of a discomfort for wanting to forge ahead. So in that moment, that's where I'd probably like nag on the dog a little bit. I'll probably be really annoying to it. And it's not like taking the dog's head off or anything like that. I'm just like, heel, the dog's there. Yes. Whether you pay the dog or you've just given that terminal marker, right? What you could then also do is, as you're still setting off walking, you could say heel again and then just use your duration marker. Good. Yeah, good. In that moment, if the dog stays there, great. Fucking reward the dog. You've got your duration and you build on that. If it's a case that the dog goes, no, cool, I've got into heel. Now I know what happens next. I go ahead. That's where I would be like sort of nagging on the dog a little bit. That tap, 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 to keep the dog here. And the dog's like really annoyed by that. And you go, right, bring the back here. Good. Heel. Yeah. And he goes, oh, that's what heel means. It doesn't mean come back here to then go off again. You just work on it from there. Those of you guys that are using e-collars, you can use a tap tap on the e-collar, but for the stim, yeah, to be annoying to that, rather than tapping on the lead. Mega mate, I am so happy to hear that. That's the whole point. Yeah, it's a case of that. Whoop, hold on, there you go. Some white sheets again. Hold on, I'm back, guys. I'm back. Sorry, I don't want YouTube shutting me down. We've only got 26 subscribers. We're only a small fish in this. It is an Australia week this week, mate. Unfortunately, they didn't have any cruise campos, I don't think. Or they didn't have any of the what else do the ones have? The salty San Miguel's. And Madrid's just Carlsberg in it, just in a frock. So yeah, you guys are using your e-collar, you can use the stim to stop that. Yeah, so it's just tap, 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 tap. Not on your boost, but on your normal. Tap, 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 tap. And you get the dog to go, whoa, I'm coming back, heel. And then they realize that they've put that pressure on. So definitely something that we can work on, guys, when it comes to it. Yeah. Thanks, James. Something else that might also happen is not, and it goes again onto this one, right? And you may have seen me do it in your sessions. That's what I want to see, Shez. Level 7, mate. Level 7 in a distracting environment. Fantastic. Excuse me, my apologies. That's mega. That is a fantastic working level. Look like Donald Trump there. Hey, it's fantastic working level. That's it. I'm definitely getting banned from here. That was a shit impression as well. The fact that you're getting that response now, whereas beforehand it was what, level 20, I would say. Now changing to the comfort wing. Has your thing come? Has your collar come yet? Are you still, imagine it won't have done because we were speaking about it yesterday and today's been Sunday, so it probably hasn't. So that's what I mean. You use that little bit of annoyance where it goes, I don't particularly like it. It comes back. No, it hasn't. Yeah, hopefully this week, man. Hopefully this week. You should get an email. I got an email to say it comes through. Supposedly tomorrow. Mega. Perfect. Can't wait to see that on him, mate. Imagine you didn't go for a big collar, did you? Did you go for a tan to try and like mix in with him a little bit? So the next one that I want to talk about as well is, and it goes hand in hand with this as well. You may have seen me do it in your sessions where I allow the dog to try and make the right decision. So let's take, for instance, the spicy game. You ever seen me slow down and the dog's in like that rhythm with me and it's like understanding where it needs to be. And you can just see the dog just not thinking about things. And then I sort of slow down as I start to turn away and the dog's still forging forward. And as soon as it puts that pressure on itself, I'm tapping the dog and being annoying to almost like sort of get his attention to come back to me and it comes back into the heel. Yeah. Or I may have done that a couple of times. I come to a stop. As the dog's about to hit the end of the lead, I will say heel. Yeah. And the dog will spin back to me and come back to where it needs to be. And then we carry on walking, right? I'm doing that from a verbal cue before applying pressure. Yeah. And I've been guilty of this myself. I can still probably be guilty of it now. I'm in an autonomous, response with regards to it. Is where you apply pressure first and then the stim. You apply pressure first and then the verbal. So it would be a case of like, I press the collar, dog goes into a heel, yeah. Rather than telling them what I want to do, they've sort of like blown me off at that point or not done what I wanted to and then applying pressure. So we want the dog to understand that that the pressure doesn't bring them into the behavior or into the to the heel in this moment, and it's not the prerequisite for it. It is a correction because you didn't do it the first time. So the dog has to understand to do it the first time to avoid that pressure in the first place. That makes sense? Hopefully it does. So the problem with that is if you're not allowing the dog to make those good decisions, the dog's not going to learn. It's like being given it's like being given the answers to the test before even doing the test. It's like someone just telling you the answer, right? Because you're not going to think about it, you're not going to learn about it, and then you take that equipment off. You try and ask for that heel, and the dog's going to go, right, sorry, mate. Do it with the e-collar, do it with the prong, do it with the slip. I mean, you can talk if you need to. I've got a house guest. He's not happy about being in his crate, but he's not been happy about anything today, to be fair. He's also not happy that he's not watching me on the big screen and he's having to see the live version. I can't show you him though because he's top secret. Right, what's my last one? There was one last one that I wanted to do. Now, the last one. We have all been here. We have all been the micromanager that we don't want, that we don't like. We have all been the helicopter mum and the helicopter dad. And what I mean by that is you've been fucking hovering around, looking at your dog, wondering what the fuck's going to go on. We've all been there. We have been watching the dog far too much and not being situationally aware of the situation and the environment that we're in. And then you wonder why the dog's put the lead on, then why put the tight lead on, then you wonder why the dog's not responding to cues, and then you wonder why all of these bad behaviours and bad habits are coming in because you haven't seen the dog that is approached on the field, and you haven't seen the dog that's approached on the field and being able to add that distance, get that cue in beforehand, get the dog's attention, all that type of stuff. Because you're too focused on what the dog's doing. And then from there, look at what happens. You miss your marker and you're not able to correct the dog sooner to set him up for that success. You then you also have probably a tight lead. You're then probably at that point where you're in a state of panic and you start to over cue things and start to say too much to the dog. And then from there, you then probably apply pressure first before allowing the dog the time to make the good choice. And because you haven't been able to do the time, because you haven't got that, because you got too close and the dog's already started to react or lead pull, it's this constant sort of battle that you have, and you've lost that situation. You've got to chalk that one up and go, right, I've got to be better next time. So all of these go hand in hand. If you have one, generally then the rest are going to follow. And if you can break one, imagine it like dominoes, you take that domino out, then the rest of the sequence isn't going to follow. So if you can sort of be consciously aware of these situations, then, and these things that are going to happen, then the better your responses out and lead walking out is going to be with your dog. Now, this takes time. This takes a lot of effort. This takes a lot of sort of being out there and doing it wrong, right? We've all done it wrong. We all get to that point. And you all find what works for your dog. A bit like levels on an e-collar in this case, right? They change over time and depend on the stimulus. And again, Chez talking about him going around Whitby, that's going to be completely different to him going on the rugby field. Sorry, mate, nearly swore at you then. Go on the rugby field or what have you, and expecting Chief just to chill out there where there's more space, right? So it's about sort of being aware that these situations and these things happen from us, and us being able to make those changes is going to set the dog up for that situation. Anyway, let's get into the comments. Let's have a look. Spicy game was elite for us today. We had 20 plus dogs on a field today, and Ted diverted his attention to us from multiple dogs using that game today without any pressure on any tool. Mate, mega. So what I want to dissect that a little bit. What's probably happened there is you have set that level of expectation of what to do in that situation or in that environment, right? Remember the triangle. I might even do a live next week on the triangle. Someone remind me, right? You've set that situation up where it's going, right, okay, in this situation, this is what I'm expected to behave. And you have to be in tune with mum and dad. Because you've been asked for that behavior, he knows that pressure could come and he's avoided that in the first place. That's him learning. That's you giving him that patience to understand what you want him to do. Fucking mega. That's exactly what I want to hear. Yeah, so the spicy game, Shez, if you want to check it out, it's a small little clip on Instagram, on a guy's Instagram called Pat Stewart. He's an Aussie guy, ex-Aussie Special Forces, proper fucking sound bloke. And honestly, guys, if you like sort of like podcasts and you want to learn a little bit more about dog training without even thinking about it, and you want it really fun, right? Just to slap on in the car, listen to the Canine Paradigm. I love it. I literally hang on every single word, and I want to get on every single episode soon it comes out. Pat and Glenn, fucking amazing. Like between them, they've got like 40 years of experience or something with dogs. It's fucking mega. So get on that. But yeah, Pat Stewart on Instagram, fucking amazing bloke, and he talks about the spicy game. And basically, what happens is he's got a mile there on a prong, and he's got the reinforcer as well. And then what happens is he's doing some heel work, and he sees the dog check out, like properly check out, not just a glance, but like stare at something. that moment, what he does is he moves away from the dog. He applies pressure onto the prong collar, right, to get the dog's attention, and then he's like really sort of happy about it because I've got you. I've taken a point from you, and then you reward the dog for going back and showing that interest back into you. So then what happens is, just as what Luke was saying here, is it's more in the sense that he knows that a game could happen, but he doesn't want that point being taken away. He wants to avoid that pressure in the first place, but he's coming back, gets that reward. So from there, the dog's like really in tune with what's going on. He goes, "Well, I know you can probably catch me at this point, so I better be quicker than you." And then it becomes this like really fun game, and it's a bit spicy because there's a little bit of discomfort that can be brought into there. Not so much that the dog like shits itself and goes, "Oh," and shuts down. I don't want to do it. It's more in the sense of, "I've got you," and it's almost like a game of like slaps. Yeah, if you ever played slaps when you were a kid. Sorry, guys, I am with you. I'm back with you. I was just sorting out the house guest. I think his hips are hurting him, unfortunately, which also probably doesn't help all the other issues that he's got going on. Bless him, but it is what it is. Sorry, guys, I'm like dog training and also then doing lives. Look, I'm working again. Oh my goodness, right? I believe I've been doing that without realizing. Yeah, you probably have, mate. Yeah, it only takes someone to point it out to you. Go, look, this is like a spicy game. And this is the thing, right? In dog training, nothing's ever like unique. Someone's also done it somewhere and then just adapted it to them and then done it themselves, right? It's a bit like there's another guy called Justin Rigney. He's over in the States. I had the pleasure of actually like learning from him for a bit. Only I'd say a bit. I went for a 3-day course or 3-day seminar. It was fantastic. And he was talking about purgatory. It's very much the same, but in the sense that the dog gets brought into the middle of the ring. You've got the decoy, and then you've got you got the decoy here, and then you've got you with your dog. And if the dog checks and looks at the decoy pulls the dog into no man's land between you and the hello big boy, between you and the decoy. So the dogs go, "Whoa, what's going on? I'm away from my mom, I'm away from my dad, but I'm towards the thing that I want. So I'm in no man's land." The dog gets sort of held there. The handler in that moment, mom or dad, will tell the dog, "No, heel," right? The dog then and then when the decoy releases, the dog is on a flexi, they'll come straight into the handler, stay there real nice. And then when they do stay there real nice, you're going to send the dog to get the reward indirectly, so away from you, which in this case would be to bite the decoy. So it's all about like that mind manipulation with a dog, and it's really smart, and I like doing it. I like sort of getting involved and like really sort of tapping into a dog in that moment and making them realize, oh fuck, what's happened. So yeah, you're probably doing it without even thinking about it, and it's probably been not in the same way, but it's been the premise has still been the same. We sent some more details on WhatsApp, but we'll let you know that we actually took the step of dropping Ted's long line. 2 sessions. 2 sessions you've had on your e-collar. And you've got that. Well done. Mate, fucking well done. Right? This is the whole thing, right? Like, it's our next session. We've got another one on the field, and then the one like the fourth session we've got in the dog park, I think, right? Mate, I think I'll be honest, if it comes to it in those two, then you get proper off lead recall in like the dog park, right, where it's secure. You get that. Mega. Mate, you pretty much off lead time. Chaz will tell you. That'll be off lead time soon. Yeah. So this is the thing, right? You put in like everything that we talked about today, you put that to practice even if you're using the collar, you can do that, right? because you've still got to be situationally aware. You can't then overcue your dog. You then have to give the recall command in this moment then, and then apply pressure if you need to. Guys, Luke and Shez, we talked about this, where it's now a case of give the command, and if the dog doesn't then come through, follow through with the pressure for there to be a consequence for that. And I think both of you have said it as well. It's that sense of urgency to come back, and that's what you want, that sense of urgency. You can't then helicopter over your dog because they'll be away from you. So you've got to be more aware of what's going on. And then it's about letting the dog figure it out, right? So that's my little rant, not a rant, but that's my little insight as to like things like that, where, things can happen without even thinking about it. And it's not until someone points it out to you that you go, oh, fuck yeah, that makes sense. And once you break that cycle, everything else starts to sort of break away as well. And you get this better foundations that we've been able to work on. You'll see tomorrow when you see the video, it's a shame we didn't get it on video when two dogs were being aggressive towards him and he just walked past, not bothered. Mate, you see, this is like honestly, this is a genuine smile. This is exactly what I want, right? This is what I said to you in the message, right? Same on the beach, lots of dogs, kids, mate. That's the whole point. I want all dogs to be able to experience that, right? And just go off and be able to walk past other dogs that are kicking off because they're being fucked hard, and then you're able to just like sort of, your dog's like, cool, what are you doing? But your dog still knows that you're in control because you're using like an e-collar or what have you, right? And goes, oh, I can't do that because if I do, I'm gonna get stimmed and all that type of stuff, right? It's just like what I'm working on with regards to one of my clients, right? Where we're using an e-collar for him to realize it, and he was on like, I think at one point like level 50, right? And we've dropped that down to like level 20 now. He might actually work better with a comfort wing. I might change that over. Might put him on a comfort wing and see if that's any better for him. Will he ever be off lead? Probably not. More in the sense that for him, it's having that control for other dogs. If other dogs come over, because he's a bit spicy, he would quite happily like sort of have a scrap. But if it gives him that, when they first came to me, they never thought the dog was going to be on a flexi, right? So and now he is, and he's like loving life and playing and everything else, and a lot more tolerable. So your dog can be fucking tolerable in an environment that's never really in such as like a beach or the lakes or something, and you can have a fucking great time. Tell me that an e-collar is the fucking worst thing in the world, right? Try and tell me that. And we've gone back onto an e-collar rant. So, but this is also a thing, guys, and I want you to understand with regards to your e-collar, you still do the same thing. You put all this into perspective. You make the dog understand that you can't get away with things, and you stay consistent. You won't then need the e-collar. Unfortunately, look at Wales, look at Scotland. They've banned the e-collars. It's coming to the UK. It's coming to England as well. It's gone into Parliament where they're wanting to ban the e-collar, right? And unfortunately, if they ban the e-collar and you are seen to use it and you have been reported, that is it. You're getting fucked if that happens. So, yes, it's a tool to have at the moment, but still put that training and that effort in to be able to get to the point where you don't have to use it all the time. Yeah. Just not a word of warning, because I don't know anything inside, but I'm part of a group that are like pushing to not ban them. I've got some friends that are over in Wales, and the band's just recently come in, and like, yeah, they're fucks, man. And you know what the Welsh like, don't you? Sheep. So there's a lot of sheep about, and the dog's like always on the lead and what have you. There's a pattern occurring here. One, dog meets Chris. Two, dog starts smashing life. Hey, mate, that's what I want. Honestly, that's what I want. Everyone that comes to me now and like goes, oh, I want dog training. I'm like, yeah, fucking, what's your dream? We'll get there. I might have that. I might have that on a t-shirt. Dogs smashing life, or what have you. But hey, mate, that's all I want, man. I just want dogs to be fucking dogs and do their own thing, and you don't have to worry about and go do your own thing, be a dog and roll in fox shit and whatever. Just do your own thing, man. Hence why we got a tan one where we see it in cheaper. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? That's the thing. It only takes some fucking Karen to fuck you over in that moment. Um, so I don't think it's coming. We'll know about it, and again, if we're going on the high horse, and again on Canine Paradigm, they talk about it. I think in the state of Victoria, I think it is. I mean, don't quote me on this. I think Sydney's the same now, or New South Wales, I suppose it is. I think Sydney's in. They're not allowed to use prongs or ease now. I think across Europe you can't. Switzerland you can't use prongs or ease. I don't even think you can use a slip. So this is the thing, right? This is the woke movement of force free and all that type of shit, and that's great. And you guys know me. I will use the least amount of force necessary to train a dog, 100%. But and I use a lot of positive reinforcement. I still do with mine now. But what happens if the dog puts the force on themselves? If the dog starts to put the pressure into the collar themselves, are you then having to constantly take that pressure off because you can't use force? Right? Where does it fucking stop? So, yeah, I think unfortunately it's coming. I think tool banning is coming, and again, Pat and Glenn say it, and it's like the governments over there have said that it's to protect like dog welfare and everything else. And it's like, well, if you look on it this way, okay, cool. But those people who rely on those tools to actually like exercise the dog or get the dog out, you're in that state of, well, do I break the law to actually give proper quality of life and welfare to my dog so they can go and sniff and everything else and all that type of good stuff and enjoy a walk? Or do I stay in the realms of the law, don't use it, but then my dog can't go out and it hasn't got good quality of life? So it's a really hard thing to deal with. So yeah, we'll see what happens, I suppose. But keep fucking smashing your work, guys. You won't need an e-collar. The dog's just going to realise, oh yeah, better come back because you'll have done all the reps, right? Hello, son. I could live without the fox poo in all fairness. Yeah, me too, mate, to be fair. Mine eats rabbit shit. Mine likes to eat rabbit shit. Yeah, I like to eat rabbit shit. So, yeah, I could do without that part, I suppose. Yeah, mate, 100%. Or it might even be like someone who doesn't have a dog. That's the crazy thing as well, right? It could be like, oh, that dog's stressed, or that dog you shouldn't have this dog. And it's like, why? Where's your dog? Oh, I ain't got one. But my dog 28 years ago or something, or my dog's when I was growing up. It's just one of them, man. It's just gonna happen. Shit's gonna happen. Anyway, right, I've got some big news. Do you want to hear some big news? I think this is I say big news. It's big for me. My house guest is saying he wants to hear big news. So you guys may have seen on the story on Friday, like a little bit of an insight to what's going on, and I really took away the community side of things that you guys were talking about. So I've set up a community effectively on something called School. That's SKOOL. Hall Moses platform, I think it was. You sold it now. Anyway, that's by the by. This is going to be like dog social media. That's where I want like what's going on in the chat here. I want that in that community. I want other people to see that. I want to celebrate success. I will also celebrate your success. I'll be your fucking biggest fan, right? You know that. But I want you to celebrate that success with other like-minded people. And those like-minded people will be you guys that have already trained with us or training with us, but also people that are wanting to find a good trainer, find a good community, and actually get genuine help from their dog. So what this means for you guys that are already training with us or have trained with us, you're going to get free access to this already. And in this, what you're going to do is you're going to have a community. So you set yourself up a little profile. You have and then you're able to sort of say, hey, my name's Jez, this is Chief, look at what the crazy shit we've been doing today, and post a video and all that type of stuff. I'm going to be like little different topics that you can get in. So it might be like some funny moments. I'm going to set these up, but it's like funny moments, like big wins. Or it might be asking for advice as well, right? And that advice might be from other people in the same situation as you. That's generally probably more for like your newbies that come through who aren't training with us. Going, oh, I've got a dog, it's a cockapoo, I need it to learn, it's barking at the window, what do you recommend? And then you guys go, oh yeah, do a crate training. Chris has got a nice crate training module here, that type of stuff, yeah. Or you can go, welcome, yeah, Chris is fucking great, he's absolutely amazing. He's got a weird beard, but don't worry about it. He bounces around a lot, that type of stuff. He swears like a fucking idiot, but yeah, he's cool, he's a good trainer. Or you might just say, no, he's an idiot. At that point, you just get asked to leave the community, but that's not going to happen, right? No, I'm joking. So it's basically to help for you guys to help others as well where needed. Obviously, not expecting you to do training advice, but there to sort of like celebrate success and help them steer them in the right direction. From there, what also is going to happen is there's a classroom, right? Because we're at school, and there's going to be a training library, as we saw, and basically, like I said in the story, like if you're wanting, if there's like a common topic that comes up, then I'll do a video on it, and I'll do a handout on it. Or if you're wanting something, you're in help with something, then I can go, all right, go look at this part on the classroom, and I can direct you to that. I'm going to make the videos a little bit better. I'm going to make the handouts a little bit better. I'm going to break them down a little bit more. So this is obviously to help you guys as well, and as well as other people that come through that might not need actual dog training just yet, like one-to-ones. They may just be able to work through like these modules and it work well for them. And that's what I want to set up as well, like modules to work through. It also allows like you guys that are saying, if you want to come back and have like sort of top-up sessions, you can do, but you've also got access to this straight off. So you might go, oh, fuck out. His place works onto shit. How do we sort that out? Or let's go back onto the place course module and let's start working on that. What you're also going to get access to at the moment, the other two things that I've got is like our webinars. So any webinars we do, and again, anything that you want to be covered, right? Basically, like these lives, I'll do like an actual webinar about it where I'll talk about it for half an hour, whatever. You have a live Q&A at the end. I'll do that separately, and then I'll sort of like screen record it and throw it up there as well. So you can always come back to it, and I'll also put the PowerPoint on that there as well. And then there's a free guide section. So at the moment, it's our Calm Dog Blueprint there. So like shit around the house, what you can do. I might do a crate training one for people that are introducing to crate training, that type of stuff. So again, any ideas that you guys want or any topics that I see come up often, I might compound those into that. And then just anything else that might come up. Yeah, there might be. I'm aiming to do like a course, like a full like sort of hybrid online course where it's some sessions are online and you meet certain points to then come to me to try and speed things up a little bit. So you don't feel like you're having to do like weekly sessions with me. I mean, I know you guys that have already trained with me, this is the situation at the moment, but you don't have to do weekly sessions. If I can go, right, okay, I sign you off on certain points and go, yeah, you've done what we need to do. Now we can have like a one-to-one session. And I think that's really going to help people. I'm going to put some e-collar stuff up there as well. Introduction to e-collars, how to do it, working on it from there, finding working levels. So I'm going to build on that. There's a leaderboard as well, guys. It's fucking cool, right? So the more you put into it, there's a leaderboard, so you rise up the ranks. And I suppose the final one that works from that, there's a calendar on there as well. So I'm going to set like, it might be like the likes of this. Yeah, so it might be a case of I might not do YouTube lives. I might do like Google Meet lives where you all come in and you join a link and you come in for the Google Meet and we talk like some cool shit. And it's basically like just the community that comes in because I think that's the only people that come into this anyway. I think what we'll also do is in there we'll have like drop-in sessions. So I might be like free for like an hour on an evening. or what have you, and you can drop in and go, right, ask me any questions you want, rather than WhatsApp. You can still use WhatsApp if you want to, but if you're working towards something in particular, you've got it there where you can just drop in. And again, that might be more for the new people coming through who aren't training with us just yet. We're gonna have a celebrating success as well. So I think like every Friday, to get that fucking feel good feeling, you're gonna throw in, you'll encourage everyone to go, right, what's your fucking win of the week been? I might actually call it win of the week. I'll write that down. That type of stuff. And on there as well, like if we do the community walks, we do the fucking inner circle walks, right? They will be on there and go, right, guys, you've got to walk. There's a the walk coming up in 6 weeks' time or whatever. It's there. This is where it's going to be. Register your interest, all that type of stuff. So it's going to be like a social calendar on there. What do you guys think? I mean, it sounds like I want to be putting a lot into it, and I'm going to be building it out over the next few weeks. Obviously, I can give you guys access anyway. If you're interested, I'll be reaching out to people. I'll basically ping an email to you in terms of it. So you'll understand where it is, and if you're interested, you just reply, and I'll fucking just send you the link to get added into it. Zoom dog quiz night. Oh, am I going to be quizmaster? That's a fucking great shout. Do you know what, mate? That's a fucking great shout. What do you think? What are you thinking on there? Like, actually, like general knowledge about dogs, or are you thinking like dog training, or what? What do you think? That's a fucking cracker. Where's my school notes? Let me put my fucking school notes in here, man. That's a great. That might actually work, man. For pub quiz. Calendar. Hello, people. What are we saying? Yeah, we'll do. Obviously, YouTube will move to Google as well. Google Meets, and then obviously you guys. The reason why obviously like if we move it to Google Meets or Zoom or something like that, you guys can then get in on it. You can like unmute yourself and fucking start asking questions, or obviously going through the chat if you need to. Make sure there's a link to the petition or the petition to e-collars. Mate, in all seriousness, if you're interested in like doing the petition for e-collars, let me try and find it. Good. 2 covers. Is it this one? Is it change.org? Is it this one? Hold on, let me find it. I think. Let me try and find it. There is a petition actually going. Just going to try and log in to the Facey B. Hold on. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Zoom, come in, 10 questions, different quizmaster each night. Yeah, my different quizmaster each night. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I really like that, man. That'd be good. Easy, just get ChatGPT to do it. No, 100%, man. That'd be cool. I like that as an idea. Really like that as an idea. Cool, mate. Let's see if I can find my fucking Facebook password. That might be it. Maybe not. Oh, I'm in. Right, let me have a look. National Association for E-collar Professionals. Cool. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm already in it. Let me see if I can find this petition. Sorry, guys, I am with you. Promise. There it is. Right, I'll pop it in here. I'm not expecting you to do it. Oh no, you bastard. Hold on, I know what I'll do. Fucking hell. Right, while it's doing its thing. Uh, I don't know why I've done that. Anyway, back onto you guys. What's going on? Yeah, guys. So that it's a tiny link because I'm about to change the link, but that will take you to the government page to not ban e-collars. I don't, unfortunately. I think there's more people backing the ban of them because that's just down to ignorance rather than it is anything else. So yeah, I think that's that one. If you want to get involved, was that the only good thing I came? Yeah, man. I never did the like the Zoom or the Zoom quizzes or anything like that, and I was too cool for school. Plus, I was still working as well, so I didn't do it. Yeah, we can do that. Like I said, any ideas that you got, just like ping them through like privately, so I've got them. Like, I'm going to send out an email in terms of like gauging interest, and the one that comes back to me go and wants in, then providing they are, um, providing they are training with us, you'll get access to it. Still in its infancy, but I'm going to build it out a little bit more. It's a little bit better than what we've got at the moment, which is nothing, and me just send you the Google links. Yeah, mate, 100%. I mean, it's just one of those things. These things happen, and we can go from there. But yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Hammer it anyway. Just keep doing it, and then start to try and fade that out. That's the aim with any tool. We just try and fade that out to the point that we don't need it, and you can just do it all naked. The dog, not you. I mean, you guys can be naked if you want. I mean, some people might want to see that. Go on OnlyFans. Naked dog training. It might be a thing. I don't know. Selling used slip leads or something. Again, might be a thing. Yeah, so that's it, guys. Like I said, bit of the handling mistakes. Hopefully, resonates with you. We get us to school as well. Gets let's get that built, get our community built. Let's get us moving and everything else. We can do some fun, cool stuff on there. Guys, any more? What have you got? What's going on? What we're saying? Free time. Let's talk. No, crazy things. So everyone's thought that like Michael Jackson was bastardized with regards to like wanting kids and then liking kids, and is actually like being a hero to save kids from Epstein's island. What is going on there? I know. Oh, it's a thing. People are talking about it. Was it Hot Fuzz? Leslie Winkle was fucking murdered. Just saying. Just saying. No, I haven't read any of it, mate. I've read like little bits of it. I'm trying to like stay off my phone with regards to it because then all I'm gonna get is like Epstein stuff. But I'm like seeing like loads of like reactions from it, and I'm like, whoa, how bad would it be if like in like Michael Jackson, like, oh yeah, he touches kids, he likes kids, and everything else. He's not. He's just been like fucking want to try and like save them from fucking the actual people. It's like it'd been weird, man. It'd be absolutely weird. Oh, what? I saw. Look, I'm seeing your messages, mate. What are you throwing your arms up in the air for? What, can't I talk about this on YouTube? I know. I think she needs to go out and she goes. Yeah. Mental. After what? After read it, there'll be a fucking something. I need like we need uncensored shit. We need like I don't know, like fucking 50 Cent who did all like the P Diddy documentary. We need him to do like one that's like fully uncensored. Wouldn't that something to do like that they'll do like human hunting parties? And I'm pretty sure like Simpsons did a fucking episode on that. I think Simpsons fucking like predicted it all. Maybe it's like in on it. Yeah, mate. I mate 100% conspiracy. I don't think Epstein's dead. Me, I think he got like taken by the Iranians or something, and he's like fucking living his life out there. I think he was like a spy or some shit. And also, like as someone said, it's like, well, if you can buy one fucking island, you could probably buy two islands, maybe even three, right? Or say he's not there. And it was date. What was it? The whole thing was dated like a day before his death, and that. I'm just saying. How are Jimpy and Winter doing? Yeah, they're good, mate. Jimpy's both of them have been like in a bit of a mood. They've been on like sort of great rest for most of the weekend. To be fair, just because I've been out doing bits, but they've been all right. They've been enjoying stuff. Winter's Jimpy's just coming out of season. I actually think Winter's coming into season now as well. So the fucking tag team in that shit, which is really annoying. But yeah, they're doing all right. Hopefully we'll get Jimpy back in action soon. That'd be cool. And then winter's still about. Next week's looking pretty quiet, so again the weather's as long as it holds out, but it's looking dry. Well, brighter, isn't it? When I finish work, so get them running around Frickley or something, doing some crazy shit, finding some deer or something. I don't know what they'll do. But yeah, they're good, man. They're good. They're good. Just yeah, like I said, it was like they were being poisoned earlier. Well, Jimpy was. When I was giving her a wormer, she wasn't having any of it. Yeah, I know, mate. I'm fucking loving it. I'm loving it. I can't wait for summer. I can't wait. But like 6 p.m. is great, but I'm waiting for it to be like still light at 7 p.m. Oh, it's gonna be so cool. I love it. I can't wait. Holodex is on. There's some sort of cool about I've seen their friends all being cannibal. Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. Oh, it's so crazy. It is ace. It's cool. You see, like what Joe Rogan said as well. Like Joe Rogan's mentioned in it, but that was because he was like, "Do you want to come to a party?" He's like, "No, fuck no." I'm like, fuck no, I don't want to come to any of your parties. He was like, "Fucking," he's like, "No, you're fucking wrong." Like Joe Rogan saying how it is. Joe Rogan would be a good one. He'd do a uncensored version of it all. Yeah, man. It was about I think 14 degrees. I've been in shorts, man. I've been rocking the shorts. I can't wait. I can't wait to get back in shorts and just going around the place, running around. I need to start running again as well and go back to the gym. Right, guys, I'm gonna love you and leave because my dogs need to go out. They're crying and whining and barking. Oh, mate, yeah, all right, all right. You can't all be fucking rugby players and what have you. They used to look good, they just don't now. That's why I wear trousers all the time. Right, guys, I'm going to love you and leave you. I've kept you for about an hour, what have you. Keep an eye on your emails over the next few days. I'm going to try and get that school stuff sent out. So if you're interested, give me a message or ping us a message on WhatsApp, what have you. I'll get that all sent out. You need anything in the meantime, give me a shout. I'll get all your videos and all your messages replied to tomorrow. And I appreciate your patience, really do. If you need anything, you know where I'm at. Until then, have a good one. See you soon, and have a cracking week training. Oh, see you soon, guys. Love to all. Give your dogs a hug.